ingest your dirty drawers, yo, what else y'all do? um, yo, I don't know, cause I can't even think now because, like I said, I don't have that problem. I'm blessed. To praise God. Um, the bed. That's another example. The bed. Who whose job is it to make up the bed? If the woman gets up early and leaves, and then the man is still in the bed, when the woman comes home, shouldn't the bed be made, or should the bed still be undone because the woman wasn't there to do it? Help me understand. Like, what is, things like that. I think it's if it's a partnership, then it should be a partnership. Like, it shouldn't even be a thought. Oh well, I can't do this because that's her job. What? Why? Who are you trying to convince, or who are you trying to please, or who? Just like going. Perfect example. We have me and my husband have a couple. It's our big brother and sister, we call them. Shout out to Kenny and Melissa. Mwah, we love you guys. And we go out and we have couple, days, nights, dates, or events we go to. We go out to eat together, before all this shutdown and stuff. And we would go to this one event every year together, and they would have dinner for the couples. It would be a couples event, right? So we're sitting there, and well, before we even get to that part, we would walk into the place, and me and her would sit down, and our men would go get in line and make our plates. Now, it's funny because ever since I've known my we from our dating until married until now, I've never, quote unquote, had to make his plate. And I see it all the time. Like, we will be at places and be like, "Look, you're not gonna make your husband." I'm like, and because it's something that I've never had to do. I'm like, I would kind of frown, like, what? Make his plate? But it wasn't because I was saying I ain't making his. It's because I didn't think about it because it never was expected. He told me from jump, I can make my own plate. I said, hallelujah. I struck gold. But I'm just saying, like, I would observe, and anywhere I would go, you would see the men sitting with, oh Lord help me. Yeah, I'm a clown, y'all, men. Sitting like they king of the castle, the good old boys club, reared back in their seat with their leg crossed. Yeah, talking and looking, yeah. And then yell, baby, make sure you give me some of that potato salad. Baby, make sure you put some of that, they got, what kind of cake they got? Get your lazy and go get it yourself. Go find it for yourself. But it's I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That was just I'm sorry. But like, who decided that the woman should make the man's plate? In my opinion, okay, if you want to really get down to it, right? You are she is your queen, right? She is your princess. She's your you want to take care of her. You want to pamper her. And that's why I always looked at Kenny and my husband and was like, wow, like, me and Melissa lucked up. Because I don't know if they ever discussed it or what happened or how that, went about. But it ain't never been a question. We always have been served, and so I just, I see it, like, so I understand when other women, because like I said, I come from that being taught. So in my first marriage, I was that person until I was like, it kind of hit me like, why am I doing all this? Like, for what? It ain't because you get treated no better. Like, you know what I'm saying? And half the time you get taken advantage of depending on the person and their belief in, why it's done or whatever. So I'm just saying all of this, men, to say, if this has been your trend, okay, if you and your woman been together for 5 years, 5 months, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you have never done a certain thing, right? Now, I know in your mind you like, man, I don't want to start that because then she gonna expect to. But then that shows what's going on with you. Because why wouldn't you want to lighten her load? Remember, you love her. Remember, you're supposed to love, for my biblicals, you're supposed to love her as Christ loved the church and gave his life for. You won't even make your plate for her. You won't even pick up after yourself for her. You won't even make the bed up for her. Ain't nobody asking you to cook dinner. And then from what I see, a lot of men, y'all ain't got no problems cooking because y'all big old fat butts like to eat. But, that role, it seems like it done kind of switched because a lot of men now that, I guess they enjoy cooking or, I don't know if it's a competition thing when they sitting around in the boys clubs. Yeah, man, I cooked us some, we had this, so I cooked that. I don't know, whatever, but other things, why? Yeah, man, I washed the dishes for my wife yesterday. Why, is your boys gonna clown you? Is that what it, like? That they're only clowning you because they feeling stupid because they're not doing it. And so they got to make you feel bad because like, man, you about to, hold on. You changing the game. Like, we don't want you doing this stuff because then they're going to be expecting us to do it. Because your wife going to talk to my wife and then your wife going to tell her and then my wife going to come. John washed the dishes for Jody. I get it, man. I understand. But like I said, who are you living for? Who are you loving? Where's your loyalty to? If this is the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with, don't you want her to feel special? Don't you want her to feel like you care? That you would do things that's maybe quote unquote outside of the norm for her. Like the other day, I made some stew, big crock pot. It was filled for like what? I made it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I think by Wednesday I had went out. And when I came back, my husband left, and so I went into the kitchen, and I didn't go in the kitchen to clean or to do nothing. I just went to go in the kitchen. When I looked, I just saw the crock pot sitting there, and it's a black what is that, ceramic, and it was just shining. And I looked, I said, in my mind, I said, where's the top? Because I knew we still had food in it. But now I think I made this instance on one of my other podcasts or videos online, but he gave me more information later. I thought he had ate the rest and then cleaned it, and no, he hadn't even eaten it. He saw it there. He took the stuff out of the crock pot, put it in a bowl, put the bowl on the top on a bowl, and put the bowl in the refrigerator because it wasn't a lot. It was just a little in the crock pot, right? And then cleaned the crock pot. And I don't know nobody in my circle that can ever attest or testify to that. Like that, I was like, not like I said, that's what he does. And not just, like I said, I thank God, that he's just that type of person. He's a team player. So I had to realize in certain instances that I was complaining about other stuff that I see now. Other women were trying to put emphasis on what my husband couldn't do or wasn't doing in one way to distract from the fact that that's the only way that theirs was doing anything. right? You got to be careful out there. People will be really jealous or longing to have what you have, but try to make you confused or frustrated or add fuel to your fire or your um, unanswered questions because you're looking like, okay, well, everybody else has got it like this, so should I have it like this, or why is it, and they'll come in and be, okay, example. I was working for 24 years at a certain place. I had got to the top step in pay and was making major money according to whatever they say, okay. My husband was not. So then I have other women in my ear, like he's supposed to be doing more. I had to reflect back and say, but I've been on this job 24 years. Like, you cannot compare unless he gets a freaking, like, I don't even think there's any way, especially in this day and time, like he would have to get some corporate CEO position to beat out what I'm making at this time. And so, I had to look back and say, you know what? Okay, yes, their man is making money, but they always complaining about, girl, he come home and he this and he do that and he this and he don't do that and he this and I'm tired of him that. And so I'm like, but I don't have those complaints. So I said, Lord, okay, let me just leave them in a space and I'll come over here and stay in my space and enjoy my marriage. And that's what I did. And that's what I've done. And life has been so much sweeter because I accept my husband. I accept what we are to one another. I appreciate my husband. He appreciates me. And we are living our happily ever after. Everyone has a version of that, right? So, like I said, these tips, man, are to help you get more of that happily ever after. Stop allowing other people, your boys and your mama, that girl don't cook, that girl don't clean. You know what I did for your dad. Ain't nobody asked you. He's not his daddy, and she's not you. Stay out of other folk business, other folks' marriage. And that's another, if you keep your mama and them and other folk out your marriage, it'll be a whole lot better. Because y'all will come to your own agreement, your own conclusions, and stop making people think stop allowing people to make you think you're wrong because you don't do it the way they did, or they do, or they believe you should. Especially if they single. And on that note, I'm going to play some music. Y'all, I like that beat. It's like I can see some of the rappers with some lokes on or doing a certain walk we won't talk about. I'm just saying. Still trying to get somebody to teach me, but they won't. So I know, I'm just, sometimes I get a little passionate about what I'm saying, but because I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of hearing fuss, huss, and complain about, their marital situation or their relationship, and they telling everybody else but the person who's in it with them, right? I was there. I could talk about it because I used to be that person. I don't know why we do that, but we don't ever discuss it with the person we should discuss it with. We always discussing it with everybody else who can't change it. I think it's because we were trying to like attracts like. So we go to the person who we think is going to agree with us, kind of thing, to validate why we feel the way we feel or think the way we think. When really all you need to do is go within. Why do I feel this way? What is my issue? What is my problem? Is it really a problem? And then if you feel it is, Then you go to your spouse and you relay it in love,